Good afternoon, everyone. Clark, I must tell you, I never ever thought that I'd be following a talk about being up to your neck in shit, let alone have to top it. So I'm going to try to go through things very quickly and try not to bore you. My story is really about almost collating what we've been speaking about today. The fact that we are storytellers and that we want to tell our stories. And in fact, that we now are in the digital age, okay? And we're now starting to tell our stories on the mobile phone. And our stories really started in 2005 with Japan's, and I love this, Magical Island. And their stories, what happened is they started on cell phones and then in fact went into the publication world. The same that happened in South Africa in 2008 is there was this novel idea that Michelle Matthews came up with. And what she actually did is it was short stories that were published on the cell phone. Recently, in September in 2009, the Shuttleworth Foundation launched what they called Contacts. And that was also short stories on a Mobi site. But just before that came me. And my claim to fame is that I'm the first novelist, author, writer on Mixit. We created an entire new sort of platform called the M-Book, and my 2 fantasy fictions went on there. And to my delight, we have sold something like 50,000 chapters in the space of about 6 months. So, thank you. But that's who I am, part of who I will always be, but I want to talk about something a little bit bigger than that. So you now have figured out I'm a writer that's looking to make a quick and easy buck. Okay, no, I'm doing that already. Okay, here's the next bit. What I'd really, really like to do is take these cell phones and these stories on our cell phones and grow it. We know that in the rural areas and in the underprivileged areas, we have these basic cell phones, not our iPhones, but the basic cell phones. And if we can take the business model where few are controlling the content on it, yet those few are actually earning money, and or the writers of it are earning money, and marry it to the social networks out there, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the blogs, where the people are doing it out of love, but aren't actually earning anything out of it. And find this sustainable balance somewhere in between, where we create the system where anybody can input, so can upload their wisdom, their stories, whether it's a one-liner or an entire book, their learning, okay, onto a mobile platform. Then our William, who created our windmill, okay, wouldn't actually have to walk to a library. All his neighbors coming to charge their cell phones would have it on their phones. And the people, when it is downloaded, that we pay a minimal amount for it. Just to give you an idea, each chapter, I mean, I'm not getting rich off Mixit, each chapter is 50 cents. But if you create a platform where a one-liner could get the person who is in northern somewhere that only has a cell phone. So the person that's uploaded that wisdom, when it's downloaded, they get the money or the voucher or the something else. Then we've married traditional business with the social networking something. And the guys in the communities, out in the rural areas, wherever they are, can actually earn something from that. They can be sustained from that. They have their mobile phones. Let's give them the ability to use it. I have one last very quick question. How many of you have an MBA? Okay. How many of you are studying for your MBA? Phew, okay. No, hang in there. The reason I'm asking before I go to the next slide is Ken Robertson on TED, I don't know how many of you have seen this, talks about schools killing creativity. And that in fact in 30 years' time, your MBA is going to be worthless. So I'm hoping that as a community, as a world, as a people, where we have the power of words, and words do change the world, that we can create the system where you upload your wisdom and your learning, okay, and your stories, because we want to share them. And from that, you actually get something sustainable too. Thank you very much.